نحمده ونصلي على رسوله الكريم أما بعد فأعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. In today's video we will be discussing Hadhrat Umar Radhiyallaho anho and the fear of Allah. Hadhrat Umar Radhiyallaho anho would often hold a straw in his hand and say, I wish I were a straw like this. Sometimes he would say, I wish my mother had not given birth to me. One day he was busy with some important work when a person came to him and complaining about some petty grievances, requested for its redress. Hadhrat Umar Radhiyallahu ta'ala anhu laid a lash across his shoulder, saying, when I sit for that purpose, you do not come to me. But when I am engaged in other important work, you come with your grievances to interrupt me. The person walked away, but Hadhrat Umar Radhiyallahu ta'ala anhu sent for him and handing his whip over to him and said, you now lash me to even the matter. He said, I forgive you for the sake of Allah. Hadhrat Umar Radhiyallahu ta'ala anhu went home, prayed salat of 2 rakats in repentance and upbraided himself, saying, O Umar, you were low, but Allah elevated you. You were wandering astray, but Allah guided you. You were base, but Allah enabled you and gave you sovereignty over His people. Now one of them comes and asks you for redress of the wrong done to him, and you beat him. What answer have you to give before Allah? He kept on chiding himself thus for a very long time. Once Hadhrat Umar Radhiyallahu ta'ala anhu was going on his usual round toward Harra with his slave Aslam. When he saw a distant fire in the desert, he said, there seemed to be a camp, perhaps it is a caravan that could not enter the town due to nightfall. Let's go and look after them and arrange for their protection during night. When he reached there, he found a woman and some children. The children were crying. The woman had a pan of water over the fire. Hadhrat Umar Radhiyallahu ta'ala who greeted her with salam, and with her permission he went near her. Umar Radhiyallahu ta'ala anhu said, why are these children crying? The woman, because they are hungry. Umar Radhiyallahu ta'ala anhu said, what is in the pan? The woman replied, only water to soothe the children so that they may go to sleep in the belief that food is being prepared for them. Allah will judge between Umar Radhiyallahu ta'ala anhu and me on the day of judgment for neglecting me in my distress. Umar Radhiyallahu ta'ala anhu was weeping. May Allah have mercy on you. How can Umar know about your distress? The woman said, when he is our Amir, he must keep himself informed about us. Hadhrat Umar Radhiyallahu ta'ala anhu returned to the town and straightway went to Bayt al-Mal to fill a sack with flour, dates, fats and some cloths, and also drew some money. When the sack was ready, he said to Aslam, now put this sack on my back. Aslam said, no, please Amirul Mu'mineen, I should carry this. Umar Radhiyallahu ta'ala anhu refused to listen to Aslam even on his persistent request to allow him to carry the sack, and remarked, what will you carry, my lord, on the judgment? Hazrat Umar Radhiyallahu ta'ala anhu said, I must carry this bag, for it is I who would be questioned about this woman. Aslam most reluctantly placed the bag on Umar Radhiyallahu ta'ala anhu's back, who carried it with a swift pace right to the woman's tent. Aslam followed at his heels. He put a little flour and some dates and fat in the pan and began to stir. He blew into the fire to kindle it. Aslam says, I saw the smoke passing through his thick beard. After some time, the pottage was ready. He himself served it to the family. When they had eaten to their fill, he made over to them the little was left for their next meal. The children were very happy after their meal and began to play about merrily. The woman felt very grateful and remarked, May Allah reward you for your kindness. In fact, you deserve to take the place of Khalifa instead of Umar. Umar consoled her and said, When you come to see Khalifa, you will find me there. He sat there for a while at a place by, kept on watching the children. He then returned to Medina. On his way back, he said to Aslam, Do you know why I sat there, Aslam? I had seen them weeping in distress. I liked to see them laughing and happy for some time. It is said that Hadhrat Umar Radhiyallaho anho, while leading Fajr Salat, used to recite Surah Kahf, Surah Taha, and other such surahs in his Salat, and would weep so much that his crying could be heard way back to several rows. Once he was reciting the Surah Yusuf in Fajr when he came to the verse إنما أشكو بثي وحزني إلى الله. Translation: I only pled for my distress and anguish unto Allah. He wept so much that he could not recite any further. In tahajjud, he would sometimes fall to the ground and would get indisposed with excessive weeping. Such was the fear of Allah in Hadhrat Umar Radhiyallahu anho, whose name struck terror in the hearts of the mightiest monarchs of his time. Even today, the people are filled with awe when they read about Islam. Is there any person in power today who is prepared to show such kindness to the people in his charge? So this was Hazrat Umar radiallahu ta'ala anhu and his fear towards Allah. May Allah guide us all on right path. Wassalam.